Okay, let's see. Part 1, number 1. You're not there yet, Luz? Okay, here we go. Number 1. Hurricane season in the North Atlantic Ocean officially begins in June and ends in November. Which ocean surface conditions are responsible for the development of hurricanes? They begin in June and end in November. So what ocean surface conditions are responsible for developing hurricanes? We know it's not. What two can we get rid of? Make your best judgment on that one, on number 1. Is it warm water temperatures and low evaporation rates? Warm water temperatures and high evaporation rates? Cool water temperatures and low evaporation rates? Cool water temperatures and high evaporation rates? Number 2. And if I remember correctly, this was on last week's test. It's the same exact one. And I remember Mr. Enderberry going over.
Yeah, 2 and number 3 are the same from last week.
And if you're unsure what your fronts look like, they are on page 13. Are you guys good with that one?
Yeah.
Good, Luce?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Number 3. This weather map shows a low pressure system over New York on a July day. The L represents the center of the low, and 2 fronts extend from that center. Which map shows the most probable areas of precipitation that would appear on a radar image taken at the time of those frontal positions? And I remember, Kyla, you got this one right last week. So I'm going to take away D, the last one. It's not D. Are we good?
Mm-hmm.
Good, Luce?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Number 4. The accompanying map shows part of North America. The arrows shown on the map most likely represent the direction of movement of what? I see those arrows down in the right-hand corner. Let's get rid of Earth's rotation, okay? Is it the prevailing northeast winds, ocean conduction currents, or Atlantic Ocean hurricanes? Number 5. In the accompanying diagram, arrows represent air movement near an ocean coastline on a summer afternoon. I see the sun. If I remember correctly, Mr. Enderberry had this drawn up on his board, right? Compared to the air over the ocean, the air over the land has what? First, you need to decide if it's a higher temperature or a lower temperature. Make your best judgment. Good, good, good. Number 6. The cross section below shows a house on the shore of Lake Ontario in August. It shows wind coming off of Lake Ontario, and I see a cloud up in the sky. Under which conditions would the wind shown in that cross section most likely occur? Would it occur at 2 a.m. when the air over the land is 70 degrees and the air over the lake is 80? Would it occur at 6 a.m. when the air over the land is 70 and the air over the lake is 70? Would it occur at 2 p.m. in the afternoon when the air over the land is 80 and the air over the lake is 70? Or would it occur at 10 p.m. when the air over the land is 70 and the air over the lake is 72? Make your best judgment.
The heck, this was not on our practice test.
What, Kylie?
So was this not a practice test?
I didn't get to look at your practice test, so I'm not sure. Number 7. In the United States, most tornadoes are classified as intense or do they spin counterclockwise? And if you know anything about a low pressure, that should tell you. And if you can't quite remember, there might be a picture of one in the test. I'm not sure, like there was last week. So it's either A or B. Are you good, Luce? Okay. Number 8. Which group of substances is arranged in order of decreasing specific heat values? So I'm thinking about what we're learning about. So I would take away what too?
A and B.
Good. I would get rid of A and B. So now you're down to C and D. They want to know what substance is arranged in order of decreasing specific heat values. So you would look at which one has decreased heat values, C or D. Are you good, guys?
Yeah.
So number 9 looks like you're going to use your chart on page 12. What is the relative humidity? So we're going to use the bottom chart when the air temperature is 29 and the wet bulb temperature is 23. So you're going to need to do what? Find the difference between those two numbers, between 29 and 23. Take that difference, and you're going to use 29 because that's our air temperature. That the air temperature is the same thing as dry bulb temperature. So you'll use 29 and you'll use the number, the difference between 29 and 23, and go across the top and find where they meet. Are you good? Okay, number 10. This was something on his notes. I remember him talking about this. The diagram below shows how prevailing winds cause different weather conditions on the windward and leeward side of a mountain range. Clouds usually form on the windward sides of mountains because this is where air, what? Does it rise and cool? Rises and warms, sinks and cools, sinks and warms. Number 11. Which sequence of events affecting moist air within Earth's atmosphere causes clouds to form? So what two can we get rid of?
C and D.
Perfect. We'll get rid of C and D. So what would it be? Rising, then expanding, cooling, and then condensation? Would it be rising, contracting, warming, and evaporating? Number 12. Most of the hurricanes that affect the east coast of the United States, where we live, originally form over the what? Would it be warm waters or cool waters? Make your decision. Warm waters of the Atlantic Ocean in summer, warm land of the southeastern United States in summer. We're talking hurricanes, so can we get rid of B?
Yeah.
Yeah. And can we get rid of D?
Oh, D.
Yeah, we'll get rid of B and D. Hurricanes form over water. Number 13. Boarding up windows would be one emergency action most likely taken to prepare for which natural disaster? Boarding up your windows. Would it be an earthquake, hurricane, flood, or tsunami? All right, let's take a peek at this one. This data table shows a classification system for hurricanes. Okay, it gives us the categories, the air pressure, the wind speed. This is kind of like your lab. You guys have one that you had to do with that. A storm surge is a dome of water 65 to 80 kilometers wide that sweeps the shore at the coast near the point where the storm's center or the eye hits the land. Which characteristic must a tropical storm have to be classified as a hurricane on that Saffir-Simpson scale? Be classified as a hurricane. Would it be enough strength to cause catastrophic damage? A storm surge of at least 2.0 meters? Central air pressure over 980 millibars? Or a wind speed of at least 119 kilometers per hour? Are you guys good with that one? Okay. Number 15. The accompanying map shows the average number of thunderstorms each year in the United States. Okay. The average number of thunderstorms that occur each year in Albany, New York is approximately what? So if you can find where Albany, where our state is it approximately 15, 25, 35, or 45? So what one can we definitely get rid of?
15.
Okay, good. Because if I'm looking at those ISO lines, basically, I see New York, 30 goes through New York, and then the line below it is 40, right?
Yeah.
So it looks like it's creeping towards that. Okay, so does that help? Okay. Go ahead and submit.
I got 85.
How'd you do, Luce? I can't hear you.
I got 53.
You got a what?
53.
Okay. And which one? He said number 6 you don't have to do on this one? All right, so number 6 you do not have to do. Let's take a peek at what number 1 wants. The passage states, the cooler lake waters suppress cloud development because the water cools the air above its surface. Explain why this cool air above the lake's surface reduces the amount of cloud development. Number 2, base your answer to the following questions on this cross-section provided, which represents a house at an ocean shoreline at night. Smoke from that chimney is blowing out to the sea. Label the 2 lines provided on the cross-section to show where air pressure is relatively high and where it would be relatively low. So you would put either high or low, or H or L on whichever spot. And then number 3 says, it's on that same picture. Assume that the wind blowing out to sea on this night is caused by local air temperature conditions. Label the 2 lines provided on that cross-section to show where Earth's surface air temperature is relatively warm and where it would be relatively cool. So would it be cooler over the ocean or warmer over the ocean, or cooler over the land and warmer? Remember, it's at night.
Does the label up?
Yeah, they want you to put warm or cool on the line that says temperature. Are we good?
Yeah.
Okay. Number 4, it says base your answers to the following questions on the Atlantic hurricane map below and on your knowledge of earth science. The arrows on this map show the tracks of various hurricanes, got a lot going on, that occurred during late summer and early fall. They want to know, describe one ocean surface condition or atmospheric condition that makes the area over that Atlantic Ocean between 10 degrees north and 20 degrees north latitude ideal for those hurricanes to form. Number 5, base your answers to the following questions on this diagram, which shows the windward and leeward sides of a mountain range. Arrows show the movement of air over a mountain. Points A and B represent locations at sea level on Earth's surface. Compared to the temperature and relative humidity of the air at point A at sea level, describe how the temperature and relative humidity of the air are different as the air arrives at point B. What does it do? What happens to the air? What happens to the temperature and the humidity of the air as it rises and arrives at point B? And we're skipping number 6?
Yeah, I'm still on 5.
You're still on 5, Kylie?
Yeah.
Okay. Number 7, base your answers to the following questions on this map below, which shows a portion of the United States where 148 tornadoes occurred during a 24-hour period in April of 74. The paths of the tornadoes are shown. Those little just lines show which direction. Describe the air movement most likely found within these tornadoes. If I know it's a tornado, we know it's a low pressure system, right? And if you can think of what direction, even possibly, the wind.
They want to know what all the lines are going to.
Not necessarily. They want to know, describe the air movement most likely found within those tornadoes. So within a tornado, what happens to the air movement? What is it doing? Which direction is, and if it's a low pressure system, you can even say that. Within a tornado, there's a low pressure system and the air moves, is it clockwise or counterclockwise? And if you want to cover yourself even further, you can always say these tornadoes are moving Which direction? Southeast or northeast? Not that I don't believe that's not what he's asking, though. I'll wait till you're done typing. Number 8. Let's see what they want with this one. It says this photograph shows the clouds of a major hurricane approaching the eastern coastline of Texas and Mexico. The calm center of the hurricane, the eye, is labeled. At the location shown in this photograph, the hurricane had maximum winds recorded at 110 miles per hour. Within a 24-hour period, the hurricane moved 150 miles inland and had maximum winds of only 65 miles per hour. State why do you think the speed of the wind of that hurricane decreases when it moves over a land surface? What is it? It's picking up speed out in the ocean, but all of a sudden it hits land. What is it hitting when it hits land? It's not, our land's not completely flat. What do you think it kind of starts hitting?
Mountains.
What is it?
Mountains.
Mountains. It starts hitting mountains and ravines, and that kind of slows that speed down. Number 9, state 2 dangerous conditions other than hurricane winds that could cause human fatalities as that hurricane strikes the coast. Other than the winds, what does a hurricane bring that can affect humans' lives? And then for B, they want you to describe one emergency preparation that humans could take to avoid a problem caused by one of those dangerous conditions. What could we do as humans to prepare for a hurricane coming inland? Number 10, an earth science class is preparing a booklet on emergency preparedness. State one safety measure that should be taken to minimize danger from each of the following threats. What could we do if there is a thunderstorm coming? What could we do if there is a tornado coming or a volcanic eruption? State one thing that each one of us could do or our families could do to prepare for those disasters.